Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. So Maxace is a company that's pretty compelling and unique for a few reasons. For a Chinese production knife company, they make super unique and interesting designs. Some OTFs with zero blade play for very cheap, which is wild. The folding knives are all unique, wild styling, very, very interesting company. And on top of that, their prices are always pretty good. Today, we're going to check out one of their budget knives. This is the Black Mirror S, and it's a budget version of a knife that was already priced pretty well for what you got, the regular Black Mirror. I think that original one was around $150, but for the build quality, the materials they use, the high-end steel, at the time, a lot of people thought that was a huge bargain, because it was. But they've now made one that's even more accessible. This is the Black Mirror S. So you're going to have this box right here, and it comes with a nice padded knife pouch. I've already used this a bit, but figured I'd put it back for the unboxing. And here we are. So, red is not my favorite color when it comes to knives. I'll say that. I'm more of a blue person, or just, blacks, grays, stuff like that. But to each their own. They do have some that have carbon fiber. They have some that are blue. A lot of different color options for these. I will have links in the description for these guys, and also the regular Black Mirror. Like I know Blade HQ has a pretty cool exclusive one. If they still have that in stock, I'll include that, and any others that I can find. So even with one of their more toned down knife shapes, which the Black Mirror was, it's still unique, right? I mean, look at the curvature here, and then your blade shape, kind of snake-like. You got that modified sheep's foot, sort of reverse tanto blade shape. 14C28N on this guy. Very, very thick handle. So G10 handles, and then you got the aluminum inlays and an aluminum backspacer there. A wire clip. I think with the clip, it would have been nice if it matched the body color here. Just make it black. And that is reversible. And there is your show side there. So you got a hole for the lanyard. Like I said, reversible right there. The G10 they use is pretty nice and grippy, but then you got these inlays over the top as well. It is a liner lock. Good lockup on this guy. And then it has really nice action. Now, when you go to close it, it doesn't hit the detent ball till about right there. Like there's the detent track right there, and you can see the little hole for it. So it hits right about there, and then you can pass it and it goes down. So in normal day-to-day use, when you go to unlock it, you can't just go like that and close it shut. You have to just push it a little bit, and then it closes. So kind of interesting. I don't have the original version, so I'm not sure if it was like that on that one. But with this one, you got to just give it a nudge and then it closes. Very, very easy to flick out. I can even do it with my right hand. Let's check out some size comparisons. So up next to the Para 2, definitely a little bit shorter. The Para 3, definitely a bit longer. Closer to the Para 3 than the Para 2 though. And the handle's thicker than both for sure. Look at that chunky boy. Your cutting edge is about 3 inches. Blade length, if we're measuring to like that point right there, about 3 1/8, 3 1/4 or so. Overall length, a little under 7.5. Blade stock thickness, about 124 thousandths. Thickness of the handle, once you count those inlays, about 635 thousandths or so. So definitely a thicker handle. If you don't count the inlays, where are we at here? 555 thousandths, so a little over half an inch. It doesn't feel bad in the hand though. It's not super tall this way, but it's kind of chunky this way. And as far as ergonomics go, it actually feels quite nice. Weight on this guy, 3.85 ounces. And it is running on bearings. Really nice to flick out. There's a closer look at the blade. Stonewash finish, says 14C right there. That number right there, I think, has to do with the color combo here. If you look at their website, they have different number combinations for each one. A pretty nice sharpening choil there. It stays pretty thin, so you're going to get a lot of life off of this. Nice strong tip on that as well. Good EDC blade shape, definitely. There's what that side looks like, says Maxace. No jimping right here, which would have been nice. Maybe a little bit of jimping right on the top of the handle here and on the blade. Also, check out the way they did the stop pin. So obviously it's right there. And when it's open, it hits right there. And then when you close it, it hits right there. So you're a ways away from your cutting edge. Never going to be any issues with that. Really nice centering on this as well. Very well done. And the pivot this is a T8. Yeah, it's a T8. And I believe the rest of the screws are as well. So yep, that's a T8, and then your pocket clip screw is a T8. Really, really nice. On the inside there, you do have black liners. So you got the liner on this side with the lock bar, not a bunch of skeletonization because of the lock bar, obviously. But then on the other side, you got a black liner as well that is skeletonized. Feels like a very durable knife. Just that thicker handle, the way it fits in the hand, it feels like you can really lock in. I have pretty large hands, double XL gloves, but I can get all fingers on it, and it feels really good. Let's give it the old computer paper slice test here. Oh yeah, whoop, just missed that one. There we go. Feels pretty good. Can I go slow? Oh, I got it stuck there. Yeah. A little bit of U-line paper here for good measure. Ooh. Oops. So definitely a very slicey, full flat grind blade shape. Just throws me off. I keep wanting to shake it shut before I can. I think that that's probably the biggest con on this. And again, if you have a regular black mirror and it already does that, you're going to be used to it. I'm just not sure because I don't have one. You got to go like that and then it closes. Probably has to do with the handle shape compared to the blade. It was probably necessary to do it that way, but definitely worth mentioning. Not a deal breaker for me, but everyone's different. All in all, though, I dig it. Definitely want to try out more Maxace knives. Very unique stuff. Probably going to pick up one of their OTFs and other stuff. Let me try to get a better flick there right-handed. I am very left-handed, as you guys might know. But yeah, still pretty good action there. Yep, can get it pretty powerfully. Let's do one more. All right. So I'm a fan. I think they claim 59 to 61 on the 14C here, which is about where you want 14C. That's about the sweet spot. Not one of those steels that you would bring up to like, 63 or something. It's just not built for that. It's more of your tough, hard use steel, which I think fits good with this knife. While your handle's not super, thick this way, it still feels like a hard use type of knife, and the ergos are really good on it. Something that you could use all day if you're cutting up cardboard or whatever, doing some kind of task. It just has that feel. The way it fills out your hand because of how thick that is, that blade shape and cutting edge. Definitely, I wouldn't call it like a cold steel or something, but has more of a hard use knife type of feel to it. And yeah, it's a liner lock, but it's got a good lockup on it. That's not going to bother me. For most people, I don't think that's going to be an issue unless they're doing just crazy stuff with it. And then, yeah, you're getting knives with other types of locks. So I think that's it, guys. I believe these are around 68 bucks, something like that. I will put links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please check out one of my others. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching.